It's a man's dream of having two perfectly smart and beautiful girls that want you and only you. But is it perfect though? You can only have one, and one will end up feeling the embarrassment of pain, sorrow, and loss. Who is it gonna be? The girl with the most attractive two-handed jumper that the MC just had a birthday date with? Or is it going to be the gymnast that he has yet to commit to putting her in the dreaded friend zone? What future awaits our MC? Who knows? Welcome to another episode review of Blue Blocks, episode 16, Zurui Onna. It's another day of Taiki meeting Chinatsu in the bathroom early in the morning after some birthday passion.
Look at your head. Look at mine.
Taiki says things have gotten normal since that birthday date that wasn't characterized as a birthday date. I guess being one-on-one with a person that be getting your heart pumping doki doki is the new norm. Let's just say that Chinatsu feels like she's gotten the upper hand on our MC's one-on-one time over poor Hina. Still looking to sway this man's heart. The question now becomes, is it happening? There is unquestionably nothing normal about this situation at all. But what this hook does for us is put back in perspective Taiki's situation. We have a good friend that has similar qualities like Chinatsu, except she's more violent. And we got our Hooper, whom he can't stop staring at her jump shot after Hina's confession. And now with Taiki having the biggest day and night of his life, alone with Chinatsu, the girl he's always liked and admired. The story is now setting us up for the obvious. Taiki has to sort out his feelings and eventually choose, while Hina and Chinatsu are going to feel the romantic threat from female competition. Hina is going to be playing Snow White in the school play, and Taiki will be responsible for putting together and managing the entire play behind the scenes, while their classmate Shimazaki will be the director for the play itself. Look at Hina staring at your boy in pure admiration. While Taiki goes off to be responsible, Kyo makes his move to make sure the shonen trope of three besties stay together in one piece. Although Taiki hasn't said anything outright to Kyo about his situation with Hina, nothing gets past these Meganaes and asks Hina if she is doing okay in her situation. After she expressed her feelings, knowing that the combination of Taiki and Chinatsu is like trying to fight destiny. However, Hina accepted her feelings and had to express them anyways. It is quite the conundrum for people that think they have a chance, or not, to express your feelings, knowing you might be emotionally damaged for a while. Or should you just swallow your feelings and pride and try to get over it, because your chances are slim to none. And no one wants to get that secondhand embarrassment of being dumped and friend-zoned. To Kyo's concern, the story is slowly introducing the possibility that Kyo might like Hina? When someone you like likes someone else that is not you, they say facts over feelings, but feelings are way more powerful than any fact you want to present. So with Kyo mentioning that it must be painful for Hina to be in this situation, it seems like Kyo can relate to this exact situation, in which this begins Kyo's speculation of where his true feelings may lie. Please, manga people, shut your trap and let the anime marinate.
失礼します.
Oh, it's you.
It's you.
You know what time it is. Flirting. Taiki is in Chinatsu's classroom to drop off something for someone, but conveniently, it's just Chinatsu alone. That backseat next to the window is like the most anime tropey seat ever. Although these two flirts have resolved their awkwardness and have taken steps to have a day and night to remember for the rest of their lives, they keep playing with each other like,
I literally
sit here in my class in this corner. It's too bad. If we were in the same grade, we'd be sitting
right next to each other.
I'm sure living under the same roof is 10 times better. Punch me in the heart right now, as these two are literally fantasizing about hypothetical wholesomeness if they were in the same class together. A teacher comes in to break up this wholesome romance, and so Taiki scrams as he relays his responsibilities to Chinatsu, because that's what partners do. Rely on each other. You know what else is trying to break up this wholesome romance? Where Taiki is at his highest, absolute peak of opportunity to get with Chinatsu. It is a plot point. The romance gods don't allow things to be perfect. And it is just the art of storytelling, as that makes for a boring story if they just got together now. So Taiki comes home to
Chinatsu senpai no Oka-san.
Taiki and Chinatsu won't say the quiet part out loud about how they really feel about what's about to happen. But family matters matter more, as Chinatsu's grandpa has a health concern, and so Chinatsu's mom will be temporarily staying in a short-term lease apartment with Chinatsu, meaning no more one-on-one wholesome fantasizing with hypotheticals. Time between the two. Except they'll see each other in the morning at the gym like they always do, every morning. Except
Chinatsu senpai, don't go!
what comes out to the gym is something much worser. It's Haruyu senpai. And we all know where this leads to when Haruyu senpai shows up. Torture. Taiki got worked to the bone in the morning and is already experiencing Chinatsu senpai withdrawals. He begins to overthink about his hooping heroine like she's always there in the morning, and even pulls out comedic relief. But Taiki says something subtle that means something massive. Don't dwell on the things you can't change. It's Taiki's turn to get smacked by Haruyu, and he is reminded of his previous inner creep, hearing Chinatsu's voice before they even became friends. That alone keeps him motivated to make a man out of himself, because that's what a good woman does, is motivate you to become a better man.
What are you doing here?
Taiki gets too excited seeing Chinatsu back at his home after dreading the entire day of Chinatsu senpai withdrawals, but Chinatsu addresses some wholesomeness concerns like they are already boyfriend and girlfriend like.
Where were you, huh?
Being that Chinatsu is temporarily living a bit further away, she actually had to run to the gym after getting on the wrong train. And by the time she got there,
Taiki-kun, don't go!
Taiki was MIA. And we all know who to blame for this. It's that damn Haruyu senpai! With his perfect handsome looks, with his perfect girlfriend, with this perfectly bright future right ahead of him. Misunderstandings gets cleared up like what happened on birthday night, and all of Taiki's feelings still seem to be going just to Chinatsu senpai. After being under the same roof for so long, with the culmination of that birthday date, there is clearly a deeper bond than there ever was before. It's already kind of a huge stretch that someone can platonically be excited to see someone of the opposite gender every single morning. But now even Chinatsu is sweating it out and worrying about missing their morning routine with Taiki. It's not looking good for our pink-haired gymnast. Hina is practicing her lines for Snow White, and Kyo is practicing like he's at a sweatshop. Taiki is showing all the characteristics that makes him attractive to the ladies. He is dashingly reliable, as a blushing Hina overhears their classmates speak so highly of him. Here Taiki is being reliable and running errands for his group as he runs into, conveniently, once again, Chinatsu. With Taiki's group handling the Snow White play, Chinatsu's class is serving games in maid outfits. This is the closest thing you'll ever get to fan service and blue box, as Taiki ups the blood flow and pops an imaginary hypothetical of Chinatsu in a waitress outfit. All the horny high school boys are going to have a field day during the festival, but Chinatsu stops Taiki's inner tease that she isn't quite going to be dressing up. Or is she? Chinatsu switches topics to Taiki being responsible for the Snow White play, and she was absolutely sure that he was going to be the prince. But like Chinatsu, this whole scene seems like a foreshadowing. Or is it just a red herring? Or is it Hina? Hina pulls up with the squad to find Taiki and finds female competition instead. As Chinatsu leaves Taiki behind, she can't help but turn around and see female competition as well. Chinatsu is back at her temporary crib with her mother, watching a metaphor that is her love life on the television screen, just so her mother can say the things indirectly about her romantic conundrum. Indirectly telling her how she's wrong, making her ponder over what she should do next. Chinatsu knows Hina likes Taiki, but she swooped in to steal Taiki anyways. She ponders over what her mother said about being wishy-washy, highlighted by her episode 10 incident. Do you like him or not, Chinatsu? You can't put another girl's feelings first when your feelings are already planted and growing stronger and stronger day by day as you are farther apart from the man you spent months under the same roof. You can't help but feel the pain of your dilemma, but the empowerment of having Taiki being right by your side, especially when you missed a clutch shot. But who was there to clutch you? It was Taiki. Chinatsu can't help but daydream, fantasize, and agonize over Inomata Taiki. There's nothing like the warmth of fuzzy wuzzy wholesomeness, because you know you want some of this. Taiki is stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's trying to overcome his badminton limits, but he has to balance the Snow White play. There's also this pink-haired girl that's always making a move on him, and the girl that he actually likes is temporarily not living with him. Taiki just has it the worst right now. While Taiki is feeling the rough and tumble of stumbling in life, leave it to the underappreciated, now Captain Nishida-senpai, to help provide his kohai with some encouragement.
Taiki-senpai!
Chinatsu busts out of nowhere to inadvertently hurt the feelings of all of us short kings. But that's okay, because compensation. We got ourselves another flirty McFlirt. Taiki can't tell if they are just growing closer as friends or growing closer as something more. Chinatsu has been getting more and more direct and more blatant about how she really feels about Taiki. Like I said in my happy marriage video, women deceive with their words, but they really speak with their actions. Chinatsu pulls Taiki's shirt down because being on her level sounds and looks just about right. As she walks on in flirtatious laughter, leaving our MC bewildered. For a moment, Taiki and Chinatsu locked eyes. Just like in the previous episode, when they touched body heat, we all know what's really up. It only makes sense to continue the slow brewing crescendo further, showing our hardworking Hina practicing her lines for Snow White. Oddly, Hyo finishes the line that Hina doesn't remember and says the obvious that he isn't into romances, as if his personality wasn't the giveaway, as Hina tries to flip the script on him to ask him about his love life. Hyo finds it lame that princes just show up out of nowhere to steal your girl. Does our favorite four-eyed bestie in blue box that's trying to keep the fearsome shonen team of three together before the thirst for booty ruins all of their friendships? Does he have all four of his eyes laid on a special someone? It flashes to some big... But now is not the time or place for spoilers. Kyo understands exactly what it's like to be in Hina's position, and it doesn't end pretty at all. Do you not see who's on the promotionals and the manga covers, Hina? It's not you. Even though Taiki, Kyo, and Hina are the fearsome shonen team of three that's affected by each other's lust for booty, bros before Hinas, they say. So even though Kyo can't empathize and sympathize with Hina, what Taiki wants, the four-eyed bestie supports. To Hina's dismay, the fearsome shonen team of three is really being fractured right before our very eyes. All of a sudden, things are moving really Suddenly, as we get to our cliffhanger, as Hina is off to run an errand for the Snow White play and finds herself in the same room as her competition. It's odd and awkward seeing the one person that's clearly in the way of your feelings from being realized, but that doesn't stop Hina from her brazenness. If she can confess to Taiki, she can 100% confess to the person that she's trying to defeat. Chinatsu.
大輝に告白したんです。まさか
Coming off an episode where Taiki and Chinatsu took one huge step forward in becoming an item, I pretty much feel like it was a done deal at that point. But the reality of the situation is Taiki and Chinatsu are still in this awkward position of not fully committing to each other. Even though all the signs are literally there, but you gotta build up that crescendo of emotions that finally reach a boiling point. Something that we can't really say about Hina, maybe just yet. With Chinatsu's mother showing up, that was really a good time to introduce a plot point, because it delays the aspirations of what we want. And I think mainly right now we would want Taiki and Chinatsu to be in a relationship. So forcing them to separate does a couple things. Like in this episode, the very first half of the episode, it just makes Taiki really think that before Chinatsu moved in, they are in a totally different mindset now. They know each other, they're actually friends, and he can't stop thinking about her. And Chinatsu right now, she is as blatant as she has ever been in her flirtation with Taiki. Maybe she's the one that is super flirtatious. Remember that high five? So while this episode confirms again that Chinatsu at least has some type of strong feelings towards Taiki, she is now contemplating over Hina's feelings. And now she has to navigate her own feelings as it is at odds with someone else that she already thinks at least has an interest in Taiki until the end of this episode when it became outright. So while Chinatsu and Taiki are physically apart besides being at school, this gives time for Hina to try to make another attempt. Unfortunately for Hina, no matter how you look at it, she has been set up to fail in terms of romance. For Taiki, since the very first episode, having Kyo sympathize with Hina for being in a similar situation before just further implies this exact thing. However, there is a slim chance, and there is a chance, this is the purpose of Hina's character, to go through all of her struggles, because I think there are a lot more of us in Hina's position than there are in Chinatsu's position. Whoever wins and loses, I mean, that is the theme of the entire story, right? For sports, and it's important to understand Hina's position, as she is the most likely person to lose out on this match. Overall, in this episode, it really did feel like Chinatsu and Taiki's relationship, it just feels inevitable. The Kyo and Hina scene is kind of like that warning, and it feels like the back-breaking moment. It's setting up for that. I know I never really bring up manga comparisons anymore in any of my videos, but I think in the manga, it was up for more interpretation that Kyo might actually have an interest in Hina. While in this episode, it still kind of implies that. I just felt like the manga actually made it feel like that was potentially a more of a viable option. I just felt like the anime could have hinted at that just a little bit more. It would have made this episode more interesting because the potential of that extra dynamic with Kyo potentially liking Hina. So you have like this love triangle square trapezoid thing going on. But yeah guys, just let me know what you guys thought about this episode of Blue Box, episode 16, Unfair Woman. And do me a favor guys, hit the like button for not being wishy-washy. And subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Check out my blog at otakusen.com, and I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.